And it was like, I swear Moses parted my hair. Like, I could not get rid of that part for nothing. What's up, everybody? My name is Branlyn Dirmia, and welcome back to my channel. Those of you that follow me know that I typically talk about all things travel, and I have decided to add my hair to that list of things that I talk about regarding travel. So yes, I got Microlocs done in August, and I'm super excited about them. Part of the reason why I'm adding them to my travel things is because I did travel to go get my Microlocs. I went to London. So I actually was already planning to go to London. I was planning to go to London and I wanted to go to Portugal to add to my countries. So currently I am on a mission to reach 40 countries before I turn 40. And I'm currently at 38. So the next country will be 39. And then by my 40th birthday, it will be 40. And I have until December to do that. So I had already been to the UK before, like BC, before COVID. I went in like 2017 and I decided to run it back. So I wanted to kind of just get a little break. Decided to leave. I was in Dubai, so I decided to leave the heat for a little bit before I came back. And London and Portugal were at the top of the list. Since I was going to London, I decided to see what did the London hair scene have to offer. So, fun fact, I have been wanting microlocs since like 2020. Yeah, since 2020. And I don't want to say I've been stalling. I don't think I've been stalling, but I just haven't been able to pull the trigger. And that's because I really do love my loose natural hair, even though because I spend a lot of time in the desert heat, it tends to be in protective styles or underneath a wig. So I just really was taking a lot out of me, literally 5 years to make a decision on something a little bit more permanent and staying. And I know they're not permanent, but once you make this kind of investment, like I plan to be in it, right? So let's get into some of the details about my hair. I knew that I would probably always travel to get my microlocs. I am American. My home is in North Carolina. I spend a lot of time in the Middle East, Dubai mainly. And so, because I do this bulk of travel, um, I just kind of knew I wasn't going to get my hair done in the States unless it was going to be during like a break. And usually I'm so home like with friends and family. So I felt like that wasn't going to work. So in my mind, I had fantasized this idea that I was going to Africa to get my microlocs installed. And that was that on that. So there was a YouTuber that I found, and I'll put like a piece of her channel up here or her name so you can follow or see her and follow her. And she actually got her hair done in Nigeria. I think it's Nigeria. Any Braids is in Nigeria. And I was actually like, okay, well, I'm down to go there. And I was looking up flights and everything. And this has been research over the last 5 years, y'all. Like last 5 years of research. So I was down to go there. And then I was like, well, what about Kenya? And then I looked at some other places in Africa. Finally got on like the TikTok bandwagon of like looking up things and what the girlies had to say over there. And one of the drawbacks that I had was that they do sister locks. I do not have sister locks, but they do sister locks. But it's like so many people on your head at one time. And I didn't know how I felt about that. Because while everybody has the same skill, everybody's hands do different things. And I just didn't want my hair to have like a patch over here that looks like it was done one way and a patch over here. And I know that's very like anal because like who's looking at my hair that close except me and like my loctician, beautician, but it would bother me. So I started looking again in other places. when the trip came up this year for me to go to the UK, I was like, well, let me just see what the UK London scene has as far as locticians. And they actually have quite a few locticians. Now, I'm quite particular. I wanted somebody, I could have gotten it done in Dubai. However, people were telling me, yeah, I can do that. But when you go look at their pages, like that's not really what they do. So it was kind of like I was really looking for somebody who was obsessed with doing microlocs. You do microlocs and that's what you do. Because there are people who can do microlocs, but that doesn't mean they should be doing them. No shade to any of the hairstylists here. But that's kind of where I was at. So I had pulled a few different locticians and I ended up narrowing it down to three. And my best friend, she is also my um stylist. She's been my stylist since we've been in undergrad and our yeah, stylist. She's my beautician, mm, cosmetologist. I think that's the right term. Anyway, she's been my person who does my hair for the longest. And so she's been on this little 5 year journey with me of trying to figure out when and where I'm going to get my hair done. So I sent her a couple of people's pages that I saw in the UK. Also sent another one of my good friends. She has microlocks as well. She's like a year and some change in, so I sent her the pages, and so we narrowed it down to Microlocs by D because everybody really just really liked her grid. I liked her grid, and I liked her setup. So not only was I looking for somebody obsessed, but I also was looking for like a salon style um, place to get my hair done. I also that was other reason why I was kind of like not interested in going to Africa is because they do come out, like they'll come to your hotel or they'll come wherever you're staying, and they do have a salon, but I just kind of felt like it was just doing the most. So the UK feels a lot more familiar, like it feels like a normal city. Not saying these other places didn't feel like a normal city, but the UK felt very familiar, and so I decided to go there, and I booked with D with booking and my consultation. Before I paid anything, we did a consult. Actually, I paid for the consult. I booked it with her, and it was a 30-minute consultation, and we looked at my hair. Now, it was tricky because I was trying to make sure she could fit me in because I already had a protective style, and my thought was if I take out my protective style, and then what I'm going to do with my hair for the rest of the trip. Oh my gosh, it was funny. So and it was crazy because like my water went out at my house, like the water pump. So I didn't have like water for 2 days, and I had scheduled this consult. But for her to see my hair, I needed it to be clean because it had been in the protective style for like a month. It was nuts, y'all. It was nuts. Okay. So anyway, ended up and did a consult with her. I actually measured my hair. Probably didn't do a really good job of it, but the middle of my hair was about 14 to 16 inches. Like it's longer in the back, and the middle here was like 14, and then it's very layered almost. So she looked at it through the video call. We talked about what size I wanted. I talked about the number of locks I wanted. Now, a lot of people don't really care about lock number. Um, I did because just looking at different styles, I knew what range I wanted to be in, and I knew what range I didn't want to be in, more importantly. So I looked at that and we just kind of talked. She was telling me that micro locks, of course, are low maintenance, not no maintenance. And she also told me about, what I would need to do as far as um, washing my hair, as far as putting oil on my hair when the time comes, and making sure I stay consistent with my reties and that the next retie needs to be a month in. So I was a month this week on the 4th. And by the time you see this video, it's definitely past the 4th. But I was a month this week on the 4th. And I haven't got my retie yet. But this is the end result of what we have. So after we did the consult, I paid the deposit, and then I was on my way to the UK. I scheduled my appointment like a few days in, which worked out well for me. So I was able to do some stuff with. I ended up putting like a wig on while I was in the UK for real. Just to manage my hair so I wouldn't put anything in it. She requested that I come washed and blow dried with no product on my hair. I was okay with doing that. Normally, I prefer to get my hair washed, but she actually worked out of her home. So I was okay with washing it at the hotel, blow drying it. I have a whole reel that I did with that and getting prepared to go. She also told me that we should plan from 8 to 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I have Microlocs. I said that at the top of the video. I do not have sister locks. They're just smaller, on the smaller end. Sister locks involves interlocking all the way down from root to tip. And they have a specialized grid, and the person who puts them in should be a sister lock consultant. Um, I was looking for somebody who did sister locks in the beginning because I was thinking that I wanted to go ahead and interlock all the way down. And a lot of people told me to find somebody who, on the sister lock website, they have their people listed there. However, it costs to list your name there. So not everybody who is a sister lock representative consultant is actually in the database there. So I was doing a lot of Instagram, TikTok, Google searches just to see, Chat GPT just to see like who was available or who could do them. So anyway, I have Microlocs, and we decided on a braided base. So she braided it out just a little bit, and then it was two strand twisted all the way down. For the back of my hair, it was just braided and twisted. For the front half of my hair, she actually braided, twisted, and then started the interlock. She interlocked it down just a little bit, mainly because people, touch and manipulate the front of their hair a whole lot more. So we went in, we talked about, I told her how many locks I wanted. I actually told her that in the consultation. I wanted about 400 locks. And things that I've learned even after working with her is that people who do them kind of have a range that they do. So I've seen a girl on Instagram. She's like a 500 plus micro lock girly. Like that's what she does. So trying to ask her to do a number outside of that would be a little crazy. But my girl, she showed me some in the 400 range. She showed me some in 300 range, and I told her I wanted 400. I ended up with 355 micro locks. I asked her to count them before I left. But I ended up with 355 micro locks. My hair has always been thicker on one side than the other. And it's been like that since I was a kid. If I have the space, I'll throw up a picture so you can actually see it. It's been like that since I don't know how long. So this side of my hair is actually, I guess, thinner or less dense than this side of my hair. And so I actually ended up with more locks over here than I did over here. So that's how we kind of missed the 400 range. But I'm happy. I could not imagine that they would be any smaller. So I'm really, really good with the length that I have. So I got my micro locks installed. It ended up taking us 9 hours. So I went from 8 to about 5:30. We took a few breaks. Um, I took snacks. I took a nap. I also took my neck pillow that I travel with, which actually worked out well because my head was in awkward places. Took my laptop. I did work while we were there. It is London, so there is rain, and my hair really has been in protective styles for like a couple of years now. Like literally, it kind of goes from a couple of week break to a sew in, from a sew in to a wig to some braids or faux locks or something like that. So she was doing my hair with the window open because the weather was really nice outside. It was a nice cool breeze, but it was also wet. So my hair started to frizz up while we were sitting there. When she finished, she highly recommended to me that I do not do heavy misting. She said that because of the texture of my hair is relatively soft and curly. She was like, too much water will just cause it to unravel. And so she recommended either bottled water or rose water to mist my hair, but not really tap water because it has chemicals in it that can build up on your hair, or filtered water. I told her that the bottled water where I am mostly, which is typically in Dubai, tends to have a level of salt in it because the water that surrounds here is salted water. So when they bottle it, they get out as much as possible, but sometimes the water still has salt. So I told her I would look into filtered water, distilled water, distilled water. and I'll look into the rose water. And so I've been obsessing, you guys. I'm not even gonna hold you. I've been obsessing, and I ended up finding like a legit like rose water, because a lot of the rose water that people were using that I looked up on TikTok and everywhere else, it's like rose fragrance, not rose water. So I found a bottle of rose water and I got it delivered. So that's what I've been using. I did not miss my hair the first 2 weeks, and until week number two. And then when I misted it, that it was very light with the rose water. I did not use a continuous spray mister because I think it sprays heavy, and she told me not to do like a heavy mist. So I did like it's a regular spray bottle. And so I sprayed it on my hair in the morning and I went out. And so I didn't do that again until the next week. The next week, I actually misted my hair twice in that week. So, like on Monday and then on Thursday. And the reason why I did that was because I felt like my hair was feeling not crunchy, but not as soft as it could, which meant to me that the hydration was going away quicker. So you just kind of got to listen and feel and hear your hair and just see what it's doing. And then this past week, I think I missed it twice as well. Very light on Monday and then like another light mist like on Friday because I think I was going somewhere. So I haven't had my first retie yet. My first retie is scheduled for next week. So the next time you see me, I will have a fresh retie. But I'm very excited about it. I don't think I have a lot of slippage. I think the hardest thing for me to do is keep my hands out of my hair. Like I just want to touch it all the time. It's crazy. So, and I've been pulling at it in the back. I know I shouldn't be. Things that I also do. I'm very into my skin routine. So I'm a K beauty 10 step kind of girly, 7 to 10 steps, depending on the day. Okay. So, I do my face. I treat my hair the same way I treat my face. So when I get out of the shower, I actually finish my face routine before I put on body oil, intentionally so that I'm not transferring body oil to my face because that is how you get clogged pores too. So I do my face routine and then I wash my hands and then I do my body oil. And now I've gotten in the habit of face routine, body, wash hands again, and then I'll like manipulate my hair or touch my hair. This by far has been the easiest hairstyle I've had in a while. What was tricky? So, everybody talks about like the awkward phase. I don't think I had an awkward phase for real. It was awkward for me, not because it didn't look good, but just because I tend to wear really big hair. So before I got my Microlocs put in, I was wearing a big afro wig. Um, and so to go from that to like my hair that was very shriveled and shrunk was just like, yikes. I also started a new gig. And so one of my concerns was I didn't want like those long ends just hanging around. And so for the first week, I actually put my hair, I rolled it in soft rollers, which actually turned out really cute. And my loctician in London, she was checking in with me and I told her what I was doing. And she was like, she really didn't want me to manipulate it too much, which I understood. So I only did it for that like first week, 4 days. So I did it like from Monday to Thursday. Then Friday it was gone. And then I haven't done it since. My hair has done this gig on its own. The only other thing that I thought was really awkward, she gave me a center part, like when she tied it, when she did the interlock at the root. And it was like, I swear Moses parted my hair. Like, I could not get rid of that part for nothing. Oh my gosh, it was so hard. Like, I was trying to roll it and everything together to close that part. And it just took a couple of weeks. So the next time I get my retowel, make sure they put the part here so that I have it laying this way. Just because I never wear a center part. So I was really, really struggling with that. Again, it wasn't awkward to anybody else but me because I don't wear a center part and it just was not big hair. But I've gotten a ton of compliments. Absolutely love my hair. For the first day, I wore a regular bonnet and my hair looked like I stuffed it in a bonnet when I woke up the next morning. So then the next day, I twisted it down and then I had bought in London. It was kind of like a skull cap, but it was slick on the inside. And so I twisted my hair down into two. like twist on the side, and I put this skull cap so that my hair could stay in place, because I heard a lot of people say their locks would be moving around in their bonnet. So I was trying to be proactive. And when I twisted my hair, I just knew it was gonna crinkle up and curl up, and it didn't. It actually stretched it. And yeah, so my hair is doing new things with old techniques. So those are like my learning curves that I'm getting used to. What you're all probably waiting for, I actually paid 850 pounds for my hair, which is converting today to almost like $1,200. A little is like a little less than 1,200, like 1114. It wasn't that rate on the day when I got my hair done. It was actually a little bit less than that. So I was actually closer to like 950 to 1,000, somewhere in there. Um, I looked up with a low rate that day because you know the market shifts or whatever. So that's how much I paid, 850 pounds. That is not a set price. Your price is based on your hair type, your hair length, all of those things. So a consultation is needed. Most consultants or most microloc locticians will consult with you and then give you a price range from there. She normally does like medium, so I asked her to go just a little bit smaller. So it really, really worked out. I loved her service. I loved her attentiveness. She's been absolutely amazing. She's been checking in. She wanted to make sure I got my retie. And I actually, while I was sitting with her, I showed her some people that I would be interested in getting my retie from, and we kind of just talked about who she thought would be the best. So I go to my first person again next week, and I was really trying to make it to her, but it just didn't work out this time. So hopefully on like my next break, I'll be able to swing over through London on my way to a new country, country number 39, inshallah, right? So hopefully I'll be able to swing to a new country, and when I do that, she'll be able to get my second retied together. So I'm actually really excited about the idea of like swinging by London to get my hair done. I kind of want to limit who's touching my hair, so as much as possible. But I know just based off research, a lot of people are like, people are booked and then transition and then being in new areas. So I'm keeping my mind open, but it has definitely been a rabbit hole of research and information. Um, I'm trying to figure out what I'm about to do with all these products that I have in my house. I have enough products for wigs, sew-ins, natural leave outs, twist outs, and I just have a ton of stuff, and I don't need any of it at the moment. None of it. But yeah. So that's all that I have about my hair. My plan is to update you guys on my journey. So this was 1 month. I don't know when I'll do another video. Maybe in month 2, maybe in 6 months. I'm not sure. But I just wanted to pull you in. This is what it looks like again. I need a retie. I don't think I have any slippage except for like right here. Um, these little ones, I just didn't know what's going on with them. But when she told me if I thought they were slipping, she told me not to touch them. So she said, leave them alone. So, and then I have like a little spriggly in the back. She likes to stick out. I don't know which one it is, but there's one that hangs a little low, but it's fine. So you can see I'm really excited with how it's turning out. Right now, I don't wear the skull cap any. I haven't worn it in a few weeks, or last 2 weeks. I just been wearing the bonnet, and so far so good. I also wear a towel situation that snaps around my edges for when I do my face routine. I think the trickiest part is that I do beat my face more than I have probably in a while. I think it's because of the hair. And the new job. So you're getting a lot more makeup than normal. So my only concern has just been like my edges and trying to wash in there because you know you can't put your makeup on the edge. Just can't do that, girl, you know? So, but yeah, that's all I have. So please, please, please hit the like button, subscribe button, share this if you want. Or share this, please. I would love to have you tune into my journey. And then I'll be talking about a lot of different things. I'm super excited about the next season of life and things that I'll be dropping on my channel. So make sure you share the word, spread the word, and unpack it how you will. I'm your girl, Branlyn Dirmia, and I'll see you next time.